Hey folks, and thank you for watching another episode of Know Your Numbers. We're going to look at the numbers for last week. We'll look at gross revenue, we'll look at our net, we'll look at what we paid for shipping, just all the things that made up the sale and ultimately what we took home. Part of this is going to show us kind of a trend, how many units were sold, just how we're doing overall financially. We'll show month-to-date numbers. We'll show that in comparison to a year ago or prior years. So stick around. I've got an agenda here in front of us. This keeps me on track, on point, on subject. I also have a timer that I'm going to start and set for 15 minutes. Like to do that to make sure that I don't go too far over. So anyway, let's get into this. First thing that I like to start with always is our sales sheet. I say this about every video. Sorry for those tuning in again, but this is really the root of it all. Every sale is recorded in this on this spreadsheet. It is on a monthly basis, so every month we'll copy this or duplicate it and start it all over again. But this allows me to collect all the sales on a daily basis across multiple platforms. So kind of consolidate all those sales into one sheet that I can then bring up on my phone and walk around to the various locations of our inventory and pick that inventory. Just a little convenient. I also then will take these numbers and transfer them over into Vendoo, enter them into Vendoo. Vendoo is our preferred platform for not only cross-listing, but we manage our inventory in that as well. So it also has some analytics that we'll have a look at. And those analytics are dependent on obviously the numbers that we enter or the amounts that we enter in. So this week began the 17th and scrolled through the 23rd. So that's where we're at. You'll notice these highlighted as well as the ones in red. The ones in red I can easily identify. Those SKUs we've not picked. This one in this case hasn't yet been paid for. Obviously it hasn't been shipped. So the red is supposed to stand out, help me identify those during the month that need some attention. The yellow means that I haven't yet packed it. So this again helps me keep track of the orders that still need to be packed. Those in the black indicates that I have already picked them. You might notice over here, well, my left, I'm not sure if it's your right or left, but anyway, on the table there's some orders, and those would be all from yesterday. So I have picked those, not yet packed them. This one here looks like we only have one on the table for today. It's not yet on the table. Sorry about that. But meaning we'll need to pick it and pack it. That'll go out tomorrow. Anyway, so that's not what you're here for. What are you here for? We want to see a weekly sheet. Okay, so we go back to this. Look at the week. What the week does is tell me for where on every day what the number of units sold. So for instance, we are week 4, which week 1 began August 27th, did include the 1st and so on, so you'll see that. So we are week 4. We are looking at, these are our numbers, and this is, knock on wood, looking like we're on an even keel, right? It's looking rather encouraging. I'm liking that, but not going to hold my breath. But it's looking good. This big spike for us is the the most units we've sold in a day in quite a while. We do have them sporadically throughout, but yesterday was a good day. As I said, we do have one on the books for today. So anyway, this is where I'll stack them. So Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Hoping, or what I was trying to do, is see if there is a trend. What days are better for us? And it seems weekends would be better for us. Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. So that's what all that's about. Does help us see where our good days were. This is again across all platforms, where eBay provides some nice seller tools that you can look at. That's obviously just for sales on that platform. So this is consolidates all sales across all platforms. Agenda, what's next? Performance. So performance is this spreadsheet then plots all, or summarizes, consolidates all monthly totals. So for instance, in January, that would be our gross revenue, $2,600. Our best month being April at $4,000, and then obviously, then to date, September to date, we've sold $2,036. So then that would be the cost of goods sold. We then have our fees. That's, again, keep in mind, this is across all platforms. This is what we spent on promoting the items that have sold. Keep in mind that promotions are only on eBay. We don't run promotions on any of the other platforms. But we do spread that out, or average that across all sales. And we'll get into that chart as well. Tax, don't really care about. The shipping, the labels that we've purchased, the amount of labels. Then this is profit, so this is less all the fees, the shipping, and the cost of goods. The net sales, then this is the less the fees, but includes the cost of goods. Like to see the difference there, as some of our older inventory we paid more for. For instance, a pair of jeans would have cost us $8. We don't spend that kind of money on jeans anymore. Yet when we do sell them, most of that money would go back in net. We don't necessarily equate it to, we get to buy X number of new jeans. But anyway, so I don't know if that came out, if that made any sense, but I do keep track of both numbers, and then I attempt to figure out what our margin is there. Just kind of interesting to know. Probably better, more interesting would be our average sale price. It's pretty low. We are aggressively running aggressive sales, as well as we have several, probably 200 items on 50 to 60% off, because they are clearance. They are just too old and they're not moving. So we're trying to get rid of those. So that's affecting our average sales price. Obviously, it's affecting our average profit per item, and then our return on investment, and then the number of sales to date, and then the average. An average is still 5 sales per day. So let's go back. Look at historical. That one's interesting. Historical, because I create spreadsheets for every month, and I have them back to 2021, although the numbers are somewhat incomplete in 2021. So the data is not complete. I don't have complete, totals, if you will, but there's probably enough to get an idea of where we're at and where we're going. So 2021, you'll see it gets a little bit sketchy, a little sparse. 2022, we were better at collecting that information, and then we are, we are obviously still in 2023. So that would be our numbers. This is what it looks like. These are the months. So January starting over here. September, I was a little concerned because last year we were down a little bit as far as units sold or items sold, if you will. We have surpassed that number. We seem to be getting closer to what we did last month. So that would be August. August seemed to have been our worst month. That was a little bit scary. We did seem to squeak by. So anyway, so units sold, we did surpass last year. However, this is what really matters, right? How much money did you get out of it? And we were doing, we're not doing as good as last year. And again, because we are aggressively discounting a lot of items, and so we're getting some of those sales in there. That's affecting those numbers as well. But we are getting closer to what we did last month, and as I said, last month was a little disappointing. Obviously, we sold, as far as dollar amounts in gross sales, we sold less than we did the prior year. So anyway, net sales. Net looks about the same, right? Almost the same picture. Hey folks, as usual, I'm going to exceed the 15-minute allotment. We have 4 minutes on here, so I'm just going to go ahead and stop that timer, because at this point we're not going to care. Stick around, we're not done yet. So let's go back to our agenda, and we looked at our historical. Let's look at our budget. Excuse me. We go to our budget. Our budget is, again, taking numbers from the previous, or from these other spreadsheets. They're all, once again, they're all based on data collected in the sales sheet. So we have, as of right now, we have $2,036 on the books in gross revenue or gross sales. We have spent $303 in platform fees. We've spent $72.54 to promote sales. And then our shipping labels, we've spent $502. We have some other expenditures, some other expenses that I like to keep track of. So this kind of tells me I have $225 more to go to meet all of our our budget, and that's so that we don't tap into our buffer, or our what we have in our accounts as a buffer to kind of cover that. So this is the breakdown of our sales. So we can see that we get to keep, or we'll call it our net. So this is the gross less all the platform and shipping costs and promotions. We get to keep of that, or net, 56% of the sales on average we get to keep. Then this would be our labels, the 502. So 24, almost 25% of our revenue is spent on labels. You can see that now. Again, we take the promotions and we will average that across all sales. Not every sale is sold with a promotion. Obviously, those that are on other platforms such as Macari, Poshmark, Depop, those are not promoted, so we spend nothing for promotions on those. And then $303, that would be the platform fees, and that's all platforms together. So not too bad of a breakdown. Where are we at? All right, let's get into Vendoo and look at the analytics in Vendoo. So we want to go to analytics, and what did we want to see? We wanted to see the week. So let's go ahead and do a custom, and we will do the September 17th through the 23rd. And so we'll set our custom for the week of September 17th through the 23rd. As you can see, $700 or $706 in total revenue. $319 of that is profit. So that is less the cost of goods, the platform fees, the promotions, and the labels in there, for a total of 44 items sold for the week. We are up a little bit. Number of items listed. So we listed 43 items. These are brand new listings in Vendoo. We always list our items in Vendoo. We create our drafts in Vendoo first, and then from Vendoo they get sent out or launched, listed on the various platforms. So we sold more than we listed last week, and there's our average sales price. Marketplace, I say this all the time. It's no surprise eBay wins. We sell more on eBay than any other platform. So we're looking at $542 in gross revenue for eBay, and about $80 or $79 on Poshmark, Mercari $48, and Depop. Looks like we made a sale there, $37. And then profit, again, eBay. As far as the average sale price, Depop wins at $18. And then eBay, keep in mind, well, I should say both Depop and eBay. No, just eBay. eBay does include shipping in the total sale, so keep that in mind. These Mercari and Posh, we charge the buyer, yet the buyer buys directly from those platforms. So those are not, though that amount, that shipping label amount is not included in the sale price. Numbers sold, the units sold. eBay, of course, wins. Depop, we sold 2. Mercari and Poshmark 7, and so 10 of these compared to 30 on eBay. Brands, you can see our top selling brands: Gap, Express, J. Jill, Nautica, Under Armour. Again, consider us a mall brand, common brand, if you will, store. Sell a lot of tops. We actually will, because we source more tops than we really do anything else. Jeans, it is fall. Those are picking up a little bit. Pants, t-shirts seem to sell all the time, and then again, men's pants, and again, our category being clothing. All right, let's change this to month to date. So the September 1st through today, we're looking at $1,900 in total revenue or gross revenue. $800 is profit. Keep in mind that's less the cost of goods. 121 items sold. We did list 137. Our listings appear to be down a little bit, but our sales appear to be up. Again, our average sale price being $16, and that is impacted by the aggressive sales or discounts that we are putting on our items. These will not surprise you. Again, eBay, $1,500 on eBay, $189 on Posh, and $212 on Mercari. As far as the average sale prices, eBay, again, coming out ahead, and then Macari and Posh. Units sold, we would know. Yep, but once again, eBay at 86, 17 on Macari, and 16. So what are we looking at? 33? My math, I don't know. So that would be, oh yeah, so let's go back and we'll look at our brands. Old Navy, we sell a lot of Old Navy, but then again we seem to source a lot of Old Navy. Gap, Express, American Eagle, and Chico's. Of that, the women's tops again, we do sell quite a bit more women's clothing than we do men's, and tops are our number one time and time again. So that pretty much does it for the analytics. And that, I don't really have anything extraordinary or anything unusual as far as to report as far as customer interactions. Which is thankful. You know, I'd rather not have customer confrontations or upset customers. We only had a couple of returns come in last week, so not all in all, not a bad week. You know, knock on wood once again. Hey folks, I do a couple other series. You sold what, which is not your average what sold video, because I only go into what was the good sale, the best sale, a mediocre sale, or you know, one that's like almost broke even, and then a really ugly sale where we would have lost money. So we look at those. We'll get into the items themselves, what made it a bad item, how long it had been listed, what did we pay for it, all that kind of information that helps us analyze why or how an item performed. Another one is, are we there yet? And that one goes into how we started, how we've changed, our model has changed, how our processes have changed, how they've improved, or at least I feel they've improved. And then looking at what's on our mind now going forward, some strategies that we're looking at implement, reporting on some of those that we have implemented and how well they're performing. So tune into those. You sold what I do on Tuesdays, and then Are We There Yet is on Thursdays. Folks, my name is Rich. I certainly appreciate your time that you spent watching, and I hope to see you back. Thank you very much.